JW. All right, good morning, traders. Today is December 6, 2023. My SPY pivot range this morning is 455.88 to 456.61. So above 456.61, I'm a bull. Below 455.88, I'm a bear. The Fab 5, that's QQQ, SPY, FNGU, DIA, and IWM, all remain in daily uptrends. SPY, QQQ, and FNGU are currently in bull flag pattern on their daily charts. Diamond Dow has climbed back into a previous uptrend that was initiated back in October of 22. Silver and gold remain in daily uptrends, but have recently closed daily candles below their T lines. That would be the 8 EMA. UNG and USO continue their daily downtrends, inking out lower lows. US dollar index has begun to rise over a flat 200 SMA on the daily chart. And we have everything except energy. That means like all the industries except the energy industry or sector are all in bullish uptrends, meaning small caps and mid caps are in an uptrend. Financials, transports, and semiconductors all in an uptrend. And even big tech still in an uptrend. So everything's there except for energy. So we have Houston, we have a problem because energy's not in an uptrend. There seems to be something that's lagging there. So let's go take a look at some charts. All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's take a look at, here's the one we want. So let's take a look at SPY. All right, so here's a weekly downtrend line. All right, and that starts back in January of 2022. And you can see we touched it on the high and we made in July, right there for the SPY. And now we're dealing with it again, spending a whole lot more time there than we did the last time. All right, so here's a big bull flag starting to form right here at that downtrend line that we had back in, what did I say? Yeah, January of 2022. All right, so yesterday's candle makes a lower high and makes a higher low. So we got a inside day and we've got wicks that just keep coming lower and lower. So we'll see where we open up this morning. For the SPY pivot, let's go look at the SPY and we'll take a look at it on the 10. All right, so you can see right here we spent a whole lot of time in this range. So you can see 456.88 seems to be the ceiling there. You could probably even take it down to 456.70, and then you can see the floor of this range even extends into the other day. Seems to be about 455.70, right about there, down to 456, maybe bring it up to 455.88, right about there. So you can see we spent a lot of time in this range. So above the range, I'm going to be a bull, and below the range, I'm going to be a bear. And we have a little daily uptrend line, starts back here on the 30th. You can see we touched it there on the 4th and on the 5th, and we'll see how we deal with it today. If we just avoid it, or if we come back and test it one more time. So we'll see what happens. But obviously there has been some buyers right here. You notice on the 30th that rallied price back up, and some more buyers again here on the 4th that rallied price back up, and some more buyers here yesterday when price came down to it, they rallied it back up. Now here we are where they came back down close to the notch right there, and you can see they're rallying it back up. So we'll see how high they get, if they can produce higher highs on those daily candles today. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ on the daily chart. All right. We had a big bottoming tail candle here the day before. And you can see yesterday's price action produced a higher low and a higher high. Could not quite close the daily candle over the T line. So something to be aware of. But we're still bullish. This is a bullish move up. And then we're bull flag consolidating over here. So let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU also bullish, making higher highs. Here's the last high, making a higher high. Pulled back, did almost the same thing as QQQ, right? We have a bottoming tail candle here. Got a higher low. And then we got a higher high. And they could not close the daily candle over the 3 EMA or the T line. So again, a little bit of weakness there, but it's in a bull flag, so it's going to take a little bit of consolidation to happen. So we've been here, here's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now we've spent up here over at 193.60 area. So there's FNGU on the daily chart, another bull flag. Let's take a look at IWM. This is our Russell 2000. All right, so Russell 2000 puts in an inverted head and shoulders. This would be the head. This would be the left shoulder. All of this. This would be the right shoulder. You can see they put in a higher low. That would be the right shoulder. And then they pop through the neckline. Come back, test it on that red candle there. And then they rally off to make new highs. Now, not all-time highs, but new recent highs, so they're in an uptrend. So there's a higher low, higher high, consolidation makes another higher high. So there's IWM on the daily chart. IWM looking pretty good. Let's just look at where we are with the quad lines. So that's very nice. You can see IWM up over the midpoint. All right, so they've just attacked this 30% line, the upper 30% quadrant, and now they're fading back. So I would expect them to probably fade back to maybe about 182.20 first, and then down to 180, flat 180 right about there. So we'll see what happens with IWM. Right, yesterday was a pause candle. Look at yesterday's price action. It was an equal low, but a lower high as well. All right, so IWM blasting through the resistance. All right, and now you look for a check of support, and then you might get a, you know what I'm saying, a MMRP play coming back after they check support, which might be right about there, like I said, 180, 182. So watch for the MMRP on the IWM. Diamond Dow. All right, so Diamond Dow making a 1 candle higher low here. Irregardless, here's the last high, making a higher high. So Diamond Dow dealing with, I think this is all-time highs right here. Not quite. Not quite. SMH was making all-time highs. All right, so here's Diamond Dow dealing with the all-time highs. Okay, I don't think we've been up here in a long time yet. No, that's it. All right. So Diamond Dow's dealing with the all-time highs. You can see here's price action. And if I come over here, you can see we had sellers up there. So this is the second visit up to these levels. And we had sellers up there before. And you can see here's the price action coming up to this area here. So I would expect, being the second time, probably a whole lot of consolidation, just like the SPY. Move over to the right and see if they can hold this trend line. Either that or a pull back to trend and then rebounce it back up there, see if they can break through. So there's Diamond Dow doing a wonderful job. So here's that daily uptrend line. It starts back in about October of 2022. You can see how price action has climbed back up into that uptrend line right there. Here's a head and shoulders pattern that caused this breakdown, and then you can see they made it back up through the neckline of that head and shoulders pattern, producing higher highs up there. So we'll see what happens with Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at USO. It's crude oil. Crude oil gapping down early this morning, so crude oil in a downtrend. We got lower highs and lower lows and lower highs, and I got to say we're going for lower lows again. So crude oil in a downtrend still. It's going to affect the energy sector. UNG, I think it's printing out all-time new lows here. Let me see if I can find any history of it being any lower than this. I don't see anything. No. So here's all-time new lows for UNG all the way down here at, well, 533. So you can see UNG just riding the 3 EMA all the way down, trapped underneath this T line here. So I don't see any break yet. Maybe when they get to the whole $5 number, they'll bounce. That would be my hopes. We'll see what happens. But UNG definitely in a downtrend, making lower lows. All right, here's a lower low, a lower high, and lower lows, and another lower high, and of course, more lower lows. So energy sector is not working. Something is missing in this uptrend, and I think it is demand. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this uptrend is all hype, and the true demand is coming a little bit later. So let's take a look at silver. So here's silver making the higher low and the higher high, having a pullback to the minor support right here. Might even have to come down to about 2178 and find some support and then rally back up. That's what I'd be looking for. So silver, I started a position a couple days ago, and I have I'm bidding for it at the $22 level. So we'll see what I get. All right, so there's silver. Daily candle, lower low, lower high, closed underneath the T line. GLD. All right, GLD putting in a higher low and a higher high. It's in an uptrend. Yesterday's candle closing underneath the T line makes a lower low and a lower high. So gold, I picked up a position for gold. Picked up a position for gold right here, and I'm bidding for some more at 185.25. I'm looking for that pullback to this support area right through here. So there's GLD. Now let's take a look at IWM. Actually, IYT. So here's our transports. Transport's doing really well. All right, here's the last high, making a higher high. That puts them in an uptrend. All right, I'd like to see them produce a higher low. Maybe that one candle is a higher low. Looks more like consolidation to me, but nice breakout there. Okay, yesterday's candle, a little bit of pullback to the 3 EMA with a lower high and a lower low. IYT transports in an uptrend. SMH was inking out new highs up here, all-time new highs right there. So SMH is now pulling back to trend indicator. We had a bottoming tail day before. Yesterday's price action produced an inside day, which happens to be a higher low and a lower high. They're looking for support. They found a little bit of support around the 157 level. But SMH definitely in an uptrend. We got a high here, and it's making higher highs. Now let's just see where they make the higher low, and hopefully we can play that that move from that higher low back up to the recent highs. We'll see what happens. There's SMH on the daily chart, definitely in a daily uptrend. All right, let's take a look at XLF. That's our financials. Here's our financials, putting in bull flag consolidation and a breakout for about 14, 15 days. And you can see right here, here's the last high, making higher highs. So that puts it in a daily uptrend, and you can see the price action for yesterday. We got a lower high and a lower low. Nice thing is we got a little bottoming tail there, so maybe they're not done going up yet. So there's XLF on the daily chart in an uptrend. Now let's take a look at the US dollar index. All right, so here we have the dollar index. This blue line happens to be, this is a daily chart. This blue line happens to be the flat 200. So you can see price action penetrating the flat 200, and then you get like a little rubber band effect. It retracts price back up, and now it's up and over. So we'll see what happens. So stronger dollar is bad for the markets because it makes our goods and services more expensive. Cheaper dollar makes our goods and services cheaper, so we can compete with other foreign countries in their markets. So there's US dollar index still in a downtrend, but back up over the flat 200. So we'll see what happens here with that. On the economic calendar, we have for today, ADP employment report comes out at 8:15, so it's already come out. International trade goods, that's at 8:30. All right, and productivity and cost at 8:30 as well. Petroleum at 10:30. Maybe they can get things turned around there. For tomorrow, really a light week. Just consumer sentiment and a more employment situation on Friday. Jobless claims tomorrow. No big Fed speakers that I know of yet. So looks like a really light week for economic data. For the NASDAQ, for the earnings, we've got Brown and Foreman's going to report this morning. It's only 29 billion. So there's really no notables this morning, or actually for the whole day. And the big one is Broadcom, 376 billion. They're going to report on Thursday evening. All right, so for Max Payne, we've got for today's 457, which is pretty much where price action currently is. All right, and then for tomorrow, 455, and for the 8th, it's 450. So we'll see what happens if they start to roll over and come back down, or what's going to happen today. If they're going to shoot up to 460 again on the SPY. So we'll see what happens. All right, I'll take questions in the room, and for all of you out there in YouTube land, just got a new Facebook group, and I will post it up in here next time. All right, so for now, I'll see you all at 4 out there in YouTube land and Rumble land. All right, so everybody have a profitable day.